Been a while, huh? Yeah, unfortunately I was a little too preoccupied during March to get a video out. So I've got a lot of pent-up rage. What do you say we make Lothric into our own personal punching bag, eh? Can you beat Dark Souls 3 with only fist weapons? The rules of this run are as follows. I can only use fist weapons, no glitches or exploits, and no summons or NPCs. As a bonus rule, I have banned the Dark Hand. Now that may not seem like much, but bear in mind Dark Souls 3 only has 3 fist weapons. So there goes 1/3 of our options. Everyone, meet Clonky Kong. Now you may be asking,
why? Monkey.
Enough monkeying around though. We have one tiny issue. There's no fist weapons available until after the second boss. Good thing we have nature's fist weapons. These hands. Unfortunately, they kinda suck. They were never really meant to be used except as a last resort, so this is going to be painful. Gundyr is up first, and oh boy, that is not good damage. Thankfully, it's relatively easy to parry him for... it's better than nothing, I guess. A very, very long time later, and we're at phase 2. Best advice I can give is just to stick to the right hand side and learn when it's safe to attack. It's gonna be slow, but it's more or less safe. With that, we have access to Firelink, so I do the tree jump to grab some extra gear and persuade the Swordmaster into giving up, then dump all my levels into health. Given our pitiful damage, a lot of the next area is just running through. I freed Grey Rat and picked up a few items here or there, but nothing really that notable. It's time for Vort. Well, phase 1 is easy, just stick under him and punch away, but phase 2? It's no longer safe. His entire body becomes one giant hitbox. Bugger. This is gonna take a while. Now what was it that Andre said again?
Get yourself killed.
No, not that one. The other thing.
You require good arms.
Yeah, that. Good arms, you say? I think it's time for some strength leveling. With our new Mega Arms, let's try this again. Are you kidding me? 2 extra damage. Man, that feels like a ripoff. Guess I'm just gonna have to get good. How's that for a victory, eh? Well, no time to celebrate. We've got a date with our old friends, the kidnapping demons. But thanks to their help, we're finally able to grab ourselves a real weapon. The Cestus. Before we do anything though, we assist our fair onion and pick up a few rings before heading to punch a tree right in the balls. I can't believe I actually had to say that. Thankfully, Curse Rod Greatwood is a very simple fight overall, so it doesn't take too long to claim a victory. Going around the Farron Swamp, we gather materials to grab +4 and briefly meet our old pal Stray Demon before heading into Crystal Sage. Whew! Boy, that's some spicy damage. Combine it with a fast attack speed and we can easily clear out Sage's clones, leading to a swift victory. We pick up a few more items and assist Sigurd again, but other than that there's not really much to do here. There's also really not much to say about Deacons. It's the standard shove a bunch of weak enemies in a room kind of boss, meaning it's kind of over in a flash. But enough joke bosses for now. It's time for the Abyss Watchers. For starters, they attack fast and are very capable of outspacing me. Granted, if I can backstab or hit them, I can usually combo for high damage. Next problem is a second Abyss Watcher that comes in after a set period of time. With two of these, it's not really worth trying to attack as I'll likely just get interrupted. So I chose to wait for the friendly Abyss Watcher to arrive, allowing me to burst down the last of Phase 1's health bar. Phase 2 is ridiculously easy to bait out, meaning a lot of free backstabs or combos. We also just have the option of using Endure to face tank, meaning this is only a matter of time. Down in the catacombs, we cut a bridge and fight our second fiery demon of the day to grab our main weapon, the Demon Fist. It's easily one of the most overlooked weapons in Dark Souls 3, but I love them. We did lose Endure, but I can just offhand assess this if I actually need that for anything. What do we get instead? Well, that's a special surprise to help us later. For now, Walnir. I mean time for Demon Runes, yes. Honestly, there's not much here apart from a handful of upgrade materials and the old Demon King. The thing is, our burst damage is so high that this fight barely lasts a minute. For now, Irriful. The Crocodoggo on the bridge does give us a little bit of trouble due to hitboxes, but the reward is well worth it. But our hitbox shenanigans aren't quite over yet as we face down Pontiff. Yep. Okay. Pontiff. Incredibly fast with a good amount of mix-ups and a less than favourable hitbox for fist weapons. The key here is to take things slow and only attack when it's absolutely safe. In Phase 2 it's important to burst down his clone as quickly as possible to prevent things getting out of hand, but eventually things will line up for a win. One nostalgia-fueled run-through later, and we're face to face with Aldrich. Phase 1 is relatively simple, and it's kind of never an issue. No, that's Phase 2. Between the constant chip damage of the seemingly endless waves of tiny projectiles, And the arrow rain with ridiculous tracking, it's usually a royal pain in the arse. The thing is, there's actually spots in this arena you can stand where the arrow rain can't hit you. So as long as you dodge any incoming blasts, you're free to ride out its duration, and now the only problem is actually catching Aldrich. Now usually we'd be heading into Yorm right now, but yeah, that's not happening. At least not yet. So instead, here's Dancer. You ever wanted to feel powerful in this game? Just fight Dancer with fist weapons. I mean, you're seeing this damage, right? Especially during Phase 2, our damage potential and pure speed makes this one of, if not the easiest times I've ever had with Dancer. A little exploring later, we meet our fair onion again, only for him to have an unfortunate accident. On the bright side, we have enough materials to max out our weapon. Well, this ain't gonna get any easier. I'm coming for you, Yorm. Ugh, that took a while. Well, best move on. Cyrus here didn't really take long to beat. His damage is quite high, but at this point we really don't care about being hit too much. Champion Gundia is just a redo of the tutorial boss until about half health, where he becomes extremely aggressive, leading to very few safe attack opportunities. But the few we do get, we really hurt. Speaking of really hurting though, ouch. Well, at least it didn't take long to get our revenge. You know, I was told to expect a boss around here, but I just ain't seeing it. Ah well, guess I'll take my frustration out on this overgrown gecko instead. Wait, what's happening? No, I can't feel my legs. No, no! 1 out of 5. Worst Uber in my life. Now for the King of Storms. Though we may as well just call it the King of England at this point. Hitboxes are a bit of a thing again. I'm only really able to hit the dragon during certain points of its animation, but realistically, thanks to our damage, it's not any more difficult than it usually is. Now, I may just be imagining things here, but ever since playing Elden Ring, Nameless Kings kind of felt really easy. He's incredibly well telegraphed to the point that I probably could do this fight hitless. I'm not going to, but at least for now I'll take a first try victory. Dragon Slayer. Let's see. Slow, clunky, relatively big and open arena. Yeah, this ain't gonna be an issue. Now for something a bit more unusual. For once, the weird hitboxes of fist weapons are going to work in our favour. Against the Twin Princes, I almost always have my attacks hit Lothric, which means this is an unusually fast Twin Princes fight. Well, since the base game gave me little challenge, let's hope the DLC can step it up a bit. Granted, Grave Tender was never going to be the one to do so. I mean, it's an NPC fight with a bunch of doggos. What more can I say? But Frida? Now that's one of the most difficult fights in the game for me. Is what I would be saying if I was using quite literally any other weapon. But this fight for the Demon Fists is best summed up in one sentence. 3, 2, 1, let it rip! Let's hope that the Ring City is better about this. First is the Demon Princes. Yep. That's what I'm talking about. Despite being a gank boss, it's usually only one that's aggressive. I say usually because there's often some overlap that may have resulted in more than a few deaths. To me though, neither form of the Demon Prince is particularly more desirable to fight. I find both equally as easy to work with, so it just depends on the build. Now just to style on the boss a bit. Bugger. Lesson learned, no styling, just kill. After another brief reunion with our old pals, we come to the Ring City proper. We smack around a good old bridge dragon and grab a few ring upgrades before heading to the church. If you had guessed that Half-Light would be the most annoying boss in this video, well done. Being an NPC with considerably speedy attacks and an automatic ranged attack, it makes actually getting close a challenge. Best way I found was to bait him into using his bow and then close the gap for 1 to 2 hits, rinse and repeat. That's not even considering though that Half-Light could just dodge away being an NPC and all, or the fact that I have to stop to deal with the Painting Guardian that spawns halfway through his health bar. That was bloody annoying. Ah, my dear, my dear. Back when this DLC was new, I spent weeks learning your patterns. Since I did so with the Cestus, the timings to this fight are ingrained in my muscle memory. Just stay in front for some easily dodgeable attacks, and plenty of counter-attacking opportunities. If they fly up, run to the left, and then continue towards where they land. Phase 2 contains all the previous attacks, as well as a few new ones, but it's still just as easy to bait out the same old attacks, until you get a critical, at which point the fight is pretty much over.
What? Still here?
Yeah, of course, I love this game.
Hand it over, that thing, your dark soul. For my lady's painting.
Gale, you're gonna have to take it from my cold dead hands, buddy. Oof. Yeah, Gale's a bit of a thing. He's probably the best example of hitboxes in this run. Phase 1's mostly unaffected and very easy to bait out, but Phase 2 requires me to either use the L1 double hit or attack from very specific angles. Add in how aggressive Gale is, his double hitboxes, and how little room you have to actually attack, and you quickly realise this fight is all about making split-second decisions. I probably died to Gale more than I did to the entire rest of the game. 90% of those deaths were to Phase 2. He's exceptionally good at trapping the player, especially with his 2 ranged attack barrages and his teleporting. But get to Phase 3, and it once again becomes easy to bait out an attack opportunity, letting us slowly take our victory. Good night, Gale. With that, we head into the kiln to face the Soul of Cinder, an amalgamation of everyone who linked the flame in ages past. Which naturally means it's going to be switching attack styles every now and then. When it comes to this, I'm fine fighting most of them, except Spear moveset. I never could quite get a handle on the timing for that. But when all is said and done, it calls forth its final and most powerful soul, accompanied by those familiar plin plin plons. Sadly, Gwyn's moveset is probably the easiest to work around, allowing for a lot of free attack chances. Granted, at this point I was playing extremely sloppy, but in the end, we extinguished the vestige of the Great Lord. And it was on that day that Monkey gained fire. Well, that was a fun run. A bit on the easy side, but I digress. Fists really do change up the way you play these games, so I definitely recommend giving them a try. As for me, well, I need to go rent a copy of Magic for Dummies from the Crystal Archives library. Hopefully I can get to Lordran before they close. Only one question. Where exactly am I?